Morning, everybody. See that? Wherever it's shaded, it's still white. Yeah, we had rain last night. Then it turned to snow, and at like 5:45 this morning, everything was pure white. But that sun has strength to it, and wherever the sunshine can hit it, it didn't take long to melt it off. So with that in mind, I'm gonna run around and do our morning checks and get busy to feeding, and kind of a slow morning here this morning. So anyway, gotta break this humdrum feeling I got going on this morning. So I'll bring you guys back a little later. Alrighty guys, we got 2 Canada goosers, and they always try to nest somewhere around the friggin' yard. And this year, with those bales way up there, she decided to nest. So that bale was way up on top, and the one directly in front of me was way up on top, and this bale right in front of me, you can see how it's chewed out here and a little bit right there. So there and there. The female decided she's gonna start nesting in this spot. Now, I don't want her babies up there and then I come in and grab a goddamn bale and kill all the goddamn babies, right? All the goslings. So I don't know if me moving her nest like this is gonna disrupt her enough. They haven't laid no eggs yet, but I don't know if this is gonna disrupt her enough that she'll bugger off, or if she'll sniff out this bale and decide to nest on top of this. Like, I understand she wants to be higher up for predator protection and stuff, so she won't have no issues up there. It's 2 bales high versus 3. But those bales I want. She can have those 2 for now. I'll sacrifice those 2 for her. But these bales over here, I want them. Maybe she'll get the drift to stay to those ones. Anyway, I gotta feed the bulls, and I gotta feed the cows that haven't calved yet. So I'll let you guys go. We'll get this done, and we'll bring you back after. Alrighty, well, I guess it's time. Since I put this thing together, this cattle brush initially set up for the bulls, we did feed them 1 bale after it was built, and now we're feeding them the 2nd bale after it was built. And I told CP when we go to feed them the 2nd bale, we'll slow down, I'm hitting things. We'll forgot that leg sticks out on the end there. LOL. We'll set it in there with the bulls. So here we are, setting her in there with the bulls. Higher. Good thing this loader lifts high. So where the hell do I put it? I'm gonna grab the salt tubs out of that manger and put them in that tub thing down there, and then I'll figure out where I'm gonna set it. We'll talk to you guys after. And I'd show it to you right now where we set it up and everything, but there's really no point because the bulls aren't even going to it. They're more concerned about the fresh hay bale we just gave them. Anywho, that's about it for feeding for today, for now. I guess I'll load my bucket up with some slabs, because I think that's what I'm going to do today. I'll push that windbreak frame into the shop out of the wind, and we'll attach the slabs to it, and then I can drag it out and put it out in the pasture with those other two that we moved. Get that set up. So I'll bring you guys back after. I didn't bring quite enough slabs. CP took off with the tractor to grab about 8-9 boards, depending on how wide they are. I grabbed a bunch of used boards they're good boards still, but yeah, they are used. Anyway, I drop them down a little bit right where the lift cradle is. That way you come in there smoothly without really risking of breaking a board off the top edge. And then you can lift them up a little bit if a guy wanted to. Like over there, I have them sticking above the very top rail, about 2.5 inches. Over here, I left them more or less level with the top rail. It's all whatever a guy wants, what his preference is. My slabs are all different lengths. You can see down there, some are shorter, some are longer, so on and so forth. They're just rough cut, run-of-the-mill slabs. But hey, they do the job. They do what we need them to do. So, anywho, she'll be back here right away, and we'll get this done, and that would be the end of this one then. So, I'm gonna let you guys go, and we'll talk to you a little bit later. Here we go. With this windbreak, that's another 24 feet, and the two that are out there are 30s, so that should be more than enough wind coverage for roughly 20 to 25 pairs. Especially when it's not actually being a corral, it's just a windbreak. Now, if anybody's wondering what the distance is in between the boards, it's approximately 1.5 inches. The reports I've read, your optimum distance for windbreak, especially in the winter time, so you want some wind to come through, so that if it's snowing, it doesn't just grab the snow and dump it immediately on the other side of the. So if the wind is blowing from this side, you don't want it to go up the wall and dump it right on the other side of the wall. You want it to be a lot farther away, and in order for that to happen, you got to have a gap in between your boards. So you want to be able to break the majority of the wind, but still, you know, if you've got a 60k wind, if you can break 35 to 40 kilometers of that wind, that's pretty good, I guess. Get over top of this gate posts here. There we go. Or if it's a 60k wind and you can break 40 kilometers of the wind, have 20 kilometers come through the boards, and that will carry the snow, they say, 30 to 40 feet farther out. I don't know. I claim bullshit to a lot of it, but I know it does make a difference to have the windbreaks, and that's why we give that option to our cattle. Anywho, enough of my chit chat, jibber jabber. I'm gonna get this out there and I'll bring you guys back once it's all set up. Talk to you then. So there you have it. Kind of in a C formation. It's not a straight wall. And if you walked straight up, stood right against the edge of the windbreaks, that'll be the windiest point. You come out here to where the tractor is, it's not as windy by any means. And I always try to set up my windbreaks in like a C formation, the capital C or whatever. That way when you get that 70, 80 or 100K wind, the outside ones support the middle, and the middle actually will support the outside ones so they don't fall over. If it's 100K plus wind, the outside ones might shift in more because they're chained, so it might push it in, but then that's going to help support the center one really good. Some guys will do a zigzag pattern, that way they can, if their windbreaks are sitting out in the field for an extended period of time in one spot, they can use that zigzag pattern and they can work it to their advantage to use it either side. So if the wind is normally from the northwest for us, but over the last few years we've been getting a lot of southeast. So if we do a zigzag pattern, then you can have wind protection on both sides. But anywho, you'll still get wind protection in the C formation. It's just not really optimum. How's that sound? So this is just what I do. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. We'll talk to y'all later. That windbreak is done, and I don't know, we'll see what happens this afternoon. I might get started on another one. Talk to you later. Oh shit, something's missing off the end of this cord, hey? 4 wires. So when we put the slabs on that windbreak, the handle must have got caught in between 2 boards, and I didn't notice when I pulled it out of here and ripped the fucking handle. So I guess we're going to be replacing the wire connections. That's why I use the cheap ass wire connections, just in case. Anyways, I'll get to work at fixing this up, and then we'll see about rolling some steel or doing a bunch of feeding, because tomorrow we might be on the road. So we'll find out what happens here after I get this job done. Talk to you guys later. Alrighty, so before, for wire connectors, I used, and I don't have any of those style, basically your standard connector that similar to this, only that's a center solder point, shrinkable. So just your basic plain Jane type of friggin' like that right there. Just your cheapo wire connectors, and then you tape the hell out of them. That's what I used before. This time they're still cheapos, but it's a female side and pull apart male side. That way if I do it again, it just pulls apart, and I can put it back together quite easily. I'll tape it still, But yeah, so red to red, brown to brown, white to yellow, and black to green makes her go up and down, just like so. Why is it like that there? Well, if you look right up there, okay, let's get a little closer. There you go. You see the black tape? That's another joint spot, because this goddamn handle on these winches, the handle to this point, well, that's only like fucking 20 inches long. So that handle, the bottom of the handle was like right where my finger is. So you got the black. So the handle would be where my finger is, that much higher. Well, I wanted it a lot longer, hanging down. So it's more comfortable, more user-friendly when the winch is mounted way the hell up there, right? And so I put in a extension piece of cord, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So we'll tape her off, and then we'll go see what kind of trouble we're gonna get into after we get done taping it off. I'll talk to you guys later. Well, there you go. Looks like the bulls figured out how to use the scratcher. That's Max on it. And I put salt blocks in that plastic tub. So they're working on it. Anywho, I just shredded out a bale of straw at those windbreaks back there and threw a hay bale in the feeder. I'm gonna leave the cows in the corral for tonight, and tomorrow morning they're coming out. That's my plan anyways. So this will be the test, the big test for our windbreaks that we built last fall with the bull rails on them, to see if those big buggers will be able to crawl through these windbreaks. Right there, we got 4 windbreaks there, 3 at 24 feet, 1 at 30, and they all have a bull rail on them. So if I remember correctly, they all have a bull rail. I don't know anymore. It seems like I just can't seem to figure out what day it is anymore. One day I think it's Sunday, and the next thing I know it's, oh my god, sorry, excuse me. Next thing I know it's friggin' Tuesday or Wednesday. So, but bale in that feeder, full straw bale blowed out. So yeah, close up that gate, and this paddock pasture, this 1.5 acres or 2 acres, whatever this is, would be ready for these animals to come out of corral too. Woohoo! Get them babies out on more solid, better ground, healthier ground, cleaner ground. Alrighty, talk to you guys later. got her friggin' thing. Now to get the calves to push them through that little gateway. Talk to you guys later. Turn that thing down. Alrighty. Excuse me. So we had this old piece of crap feeder. I'm going to try it without the skirting just to show you guys the difference between just having a couple of rods in your skirt, the very bottom, versus putting a plank in there. Just show you what the difference will be. We just converted this old feeder into more or less a hay saver cradle feeder, and I'm just using scrap because this is my own feeder. I don't plan on selling it. This thing will get sold when I retire from the farm, but I got my lift cradle thing on the top here, and I ran a gusset support to the back over there, so that'll help when you're lifting it up and moving it around. So yeah. But I'm going to we're going to use it. CP's going to get mad at me, I'm sure, but just to show you guys the difference of having a couple of rods or an open skirt, open bottom. When I say the skirt, I'm talking about this part down here. And then we'll throw the friggin' planks into her and we'll put it back out and you'll see the difference. But anywho, got him whapped together. So anyway, I don't know if there's enough on this one yet, but fun. Let's get her done. The ice in the dugout, it's all breaking up. That little bit of a pile is all that's left of our cut feed. And I kind of came around with the bobcat and tried to push up some of all this stuff that the deer made a mess of and whatnot. And the geese are not using that as a nesting spot. I thought they would, but they're not. Right now I'm just waiting for me wifey to get out of my way. We gotta feed a bale to the cows that we put behind the barn. It's been windier than heck yesterday and today, so haven't really been doing a lot outside. But so today, as far as feed goes, I got a little bit of second cut in the bale processor, about a quarter of a bale, and then this yellow/green feed bale, I'll put him in the feeder, and I'm gonna shred the second cut, and that way they'll be fed for a couple of days. So yeah. Upside to the wind is it's helping dry up all this muddy areas. It's drying things up. Downside to the wind is it's drying things up. I don't mind the corrals getting dried up, but the grassland, the grass is wanting to start, but if the wind dries the friggin' ground out too fast, it might turn green, but it might not grow worth a shit, right? Anyways, yeah, not much to report here for today, so just kind of choring around a little bit, that's it. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. We'll bring you back later. Alrighty guys, well, Big Blue again. But this is a problem that was supposed to have been fixed a long time ago and never did get fixed. Because it kind of quit leaking. If you guys remember me saying how one of the two hydraulic hoses for the grapple was leaking, or both, and it was inside that sock. Like, we're talking way back in February when it was really cold, and then it quit leaking, and I didn't really worry about it. A little bit of leak ain't gonna kill me or anybody else as far as I'm concerned. But anywho, now with the warmer weather, she started leaking pretty good again. So we got all this shit off. I thought those two hoses went into this hydraulic block, but I was wrong. They just connect to right here to two other hoses. And I was thinking, because every once in a while I'll hit the electric switch, the electric button that activates the hydraulic for the grapple, and the grapple won't open or close. You shut the tractor off, then start it again, and it'll work fine. 3, 4, 5, 6 times, whatever, and then just out of the blue, it'll quit fucking working again. So then you shut the tractor off, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking it was in this stuff. But none of these, I don't know what the fuck these are for. None of these connect into this hydraulic block. And then I got looking over here. Those wires follow all the way through up to here and go into here. But there's no power source going into there. Plus, that's for the front end loader. This one is for the grapple. See, there's two sets of hydraulics here. There's this one, which is the loader. The outer one here is the grapple. And the grapple goes to in behind all of this shit here. So there's got to be something with the electric on that set of hydraulics, wherever that goes. At least we're whittling that part of it down. Now, these hoses connect into this. This is goofy as fuck. I don't know why they did this. Because I'll show you. On that end, it's threaded on. See that? See these? You just 7/8 wrench, crank them on, good to rock and roll. But over here they use this goofy fucking block, similar to what the goddamn hydraulic block is, with this little keyway, this little plastic key lock, right? So to get these apart, you take your little screwdriver, pop that red fucker off. Now if I can do this with one hand and kind of sort of a finger, push them in, then pop them up. Sorry guys, I sent you fucking flying. So you pop that little red thing off, you push them in, and then pull apart. That's how they come apart. And when you go to put them in, you have your red lock key, this thing, or in this case, this one here now. You have that on, and you just push them into each other. That's all that's to it. They're simple, but they're expensive to fucking replace. Because you gotta have that special goddamn fitting. Piss me off. Now where'd that little red friggin'... I have no idea where that little red bastard went. I should not need it. Sometimes they're red, sometimes they're black. I have not seen any other color with these guys. Either red or black. That's it. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. We're gonna get these ripped out of here, and tomorrow I'll see about getting those fixed. We'll talk to you later. You know what? I'm gonna let you guys go completely. Give us the old thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and fun. Let's get her done. We'll catch y'all later.